Strange. That's what they refer to us as sometimes.
What's that?
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, right. Yeah, we have lots of different nicknames.
Exactly. Well, we're pirates like
Peanut
that.
butter and honey.
Hey, I'm Captain G. That's Sue.
Hi.
And we have a guest in the studio.
But if you were a medium, you'd know that.
Well, but I'm not. So.
Or is that psychic? I get them
That's
mixed up.
psychic,
That's
yes.
psychics. Okay. Sarina Baptista is here, and she's a local resident. You live in Loveland.
Yes,
correct?
I do.
And there's an event going on. Plus, are you like the Long Island medium? You don't have the nails that.
I have fancy nails right now, but
Oh,
not
you
that
do?
long.
No,
For
look at
Christmas,
that, yeah.
they're
Not
not,
quite
that long.
that long.
And it is not a requirement.
Right. Okay. Good. Good.
But I do things similar to the Long Island medium.
Okay, so
I
you
love
go.
Teresa.
I do too. I watch
She's a kick.
I watch marathons of her. It's my guilty pleasure. I
amazing.
love her.
Yes, and it really brings what
Please
I
don't
do.
talk like her. Please.
Oh, come on.
Please. No, we're nowhere near there.
Okay.
Let's not do that.
All right. Darn it.
No, it really showcases what we as mediums do.
Yeah.
Definitely. And she does it very well. So
People say, "Oh, she's not real." How does she know that?
well, how would she give the information that she's giving if she didn't know that?
Right.
It's so funny because I'll have clients come in and they'll say to me, well, I already knew that. And I'll say, well, but did I know that? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's kind of not the point.
I'm giving you the validation. Right.
Exactly.
It's absolutely hysterical.
Oh, that is funny. Well,
But-
tell us a little bit, if people don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came upon this. I know the story of how
Yes.
you came upon this gift, but fill us in a little bit on that and then the event that's going on.
Absolutely, yes. Prior to March of 2007, I was not in this world at all. I have 3 children, and I was homeschooling 2 of them, and just a stay-at-home mom.
Hands full.
Hands full,
Yeah.
definitely. And 2 of my kids got sick. My oldest, JT, and my middle child, Lacey. They both got sick with the flu on Sunday night. And so nursing them back to health and trying to get them. But JT just was not getting better. And Friday morning, after a very, very long night, I went into his room and he wasn't breathing.
Oh, no.
So after paramedics and doctors and all of that, they came in and they said, we lost him.
Oh.
So
Oh,
my
my.
son, 7-year-old son, died from the
Oh,
flu.
7 years old.
Yes, March
Wow.
2007. But I knew, even driving away from the hospital, that this was a unique thing, that this was not just a coincidence, but that there was purpose behind it. Because my daughter was sick too. I went home. She recovered. She was fine.
Right.
So I knew there was an actual reason for him to leave, and there's always a reason why anybody needs to leave, especially children.
Right.
So I began a quest, and he's such an adorable soul. He led me to different people, and I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea where I was even going, but I knew that people had the answer. And there was one woman in particular about a week after he passed, and I just ran my finger down the list of phone numbers that I had. It was the mother of a friend of mine in California, and I called her and I said, why? You know why. And I had no idea why I even called her. I picked her. Why was that? I said, you know why. And she said, get a paper and pen because JT visited me last night and he has some messages for you.
Wow.
So at that point he said, the first thing he said was that I did everything perfectly as a mom. I really needed to hear that because when you lose a child,
sure.
Yeah, what
the
could I have
guilt,
done differently?
Oh my gosh, you're supposed to protect them
Yeah,
from
no kidding.
everything.
That
and
has
then
to be the worst.
It is. It is horrible. I don't want anybody to go through it, but of course lots of people do.
Right.
So she said, you were a perfect mom. He says you were a perfect mom. The other one that he said was that he had to go. He tried twice before to leave, and this time he had to go.
Wow.
And I thought back, and there were 2 times where he was very sick. And so this time he had to leave. And so I knew that he really wasn't gone. And he would move things around in the house. I mean, literally move his Matchbox cars from one room to another.
Wow.
Oh,
And these
gosh.
were cars, they were on top shelf. So I had a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old at the time.
No way they could reach
There's
it.
no way they could
Yeah.
reach it.
Right.
And of course, everybody, I thought I was losing my mind.
Oh, sure.
And then I started reading books and things like that, led one foot in front of the other, and found myself talking to a medium in California. I never had done this before.
Right.
And she said, oh, did you know you're supposed to be a medium? And I kind of laughed at her.
Whoa.
Really?
And I said, okay. And she said, no, you're supposed to connect this side to the other side. You're supposed to be the bridge between this world and the other
And
world.
that's what started you on this
That's what started
journey.
me.
Wow,
Yes.
that's pretty cool.
So, right. And so then I said, well, how do I do that? And she said, training. So I immediately found training and trained. And within a month of my beginning of training, kids on the other side started coming to me.
oh, wow.
And to get messages to their moms because I was part of a lot of grief groups at the time. Just incredible that I could receive the messages, give them. They were validated. So now what I do, obviously, is I do live events like I'm having on Saturday night, which is a gallery style reading. And what that means is that your loved ones decide who gets the messages.
Right. So it's kind of like the John Edward.
It's like the John Edward
Okay.
thing,
So
exactly.
if people have seen that show, then they
Right.
kind of know what you do.
Right, exactly. And this particular event, I'm going for 2 hours. Usually I just do an hour and a half, but this time I'm doing 2 hours because around the holidays, it's very hard for people who've lost
Absolutely.
loved
Oh,
ones.
sure.
Very hard. So I wanted to extend that a little bit more to give more messages, definitely. But it's at my office in Loveland.
Okay.
And on my website, you can RSVP to come. It's $15 a person, so it's very inexpensive. And my website is www.bridgetohealing.com, spelled out,
Okay.
definitely. But it's just been an amazing journey. And what I get to do, bring healing to people and really let them know that when their loved one leaves, they're not dead.
Right. That
They're
has to
still
feel
there.
that has to feel great if you've lost somebody.
Well, especially, I just did an event yesterday. I did a luncheon where I was speaking, and there were people there who they were holding on to the guilt of not saying the things they wanted to say to their loved ones, or possibly didn't get to be there to say goodbye. And there's a lot of guilt around that, and a lot of emotion around that. And
Sure.
as soon as they know their loved one is there, and the love that they still have for their person here, all of that just disintegrates. It just melts away.
Ugh, that has to
And
feel wonderful.
so healing. So
Yeah.
healing. It's just unbelievable.
Well, that's
So,
really neat, Sarina. Tell
I'm
us
very
again,
blessed.
real quick, where you're located in Loveland, how people can go to this if they want to go to this event.
Absolutely. The address for my office is 1966 West 15th Street. And it's suite number 4, and that's in Loveland.
Is that
It's
the one that's
over-
right across from the water, Lake Loveland? Are you
No,
still there?
I'm not there
Okay,
anymore.
you're in a
Right,
different
I
place.
moved. Right,
Okay.
it is off of Eisenhower,
Okay.
and it's over by it's between Van Buren and Estrella.
Okay.
On 15th, and it's a beautiful office, and I have a nice big space where I do these connecting events. There is limited room though, because I can only fit so many chairs in
Right.
there.
And so
What's
many
the-
souls coming to visit.
Oh, and there's
the
a
fire
story.
marshal has a little to say about
I'm
that. Yeah.
sure there's a story about that. The last event that I had, it was about 25 people, which was a really good size, and the event was over, everybody left, and one of the event attendees came back in. She said, I have to tell you this. One of your neighbors outside, who was from the apartments across the street, she came up to me and she said, what are you people doing in there? And immediately I said, oh my God.
Oh, no.
Here come the police, right? They're going to haul me away. But she said there was this large red ball above my office.
Oh my gosh.
And it was going up and down. And this is from a woman who has no idea what was going on in there.
Wow.
And so what that said to me is, because souls come in,
Sure.
and so it's the souls, kind of being
energy
held
or-
up there, and the energy coming down so that
Wow.
I can talk to them.
Wow.
So visual evidence from a third party who had nothing to do with the event. I thought that was
Neato.
so interesting.
Sure. Well, that sounds fantastic. And give us your website once again.
It's www.bridgetohealing.com, all
Okay.
spelled out.
Okay. So if people have maybe lost a child or anybody else, I mean,
Right.
there's no restriction on
No
who could-
restriction,
okay.
no, and there's no restriction on how long they've been gone or anything like
Okay.
that either.
Good to know.
Definitely.
Thank you, Sarina. It's so
Thank
good to
you.
see
It's
you.
great to see you, Sue.
Just out of curiosity, when I don't know how you do what you do, but when you get the souls coming in, or the feeling, or the information,
Right.
is that? I mean, is it something like wham? You just know it, and it's without a shadow of a doubt, or is there? I just, how do you do
Right.
what you do?
As
kind of thing?
mediums, there's always filters that we put things
Well, sure.
through. Absolutely, because we're here in bodies.
Right.
And, what I do is I get as close to them as I can, vibrationally speaking, because we're all energy. So I get as close to what I can vibrationally to them, and they communicate to me mostly through hearing. So I can hear them speak. I can also see pictures that they give me, so they can
neat.
show me who they are.
Wow.
I also feel a lot of times, most of the time when people come through like that, I feel their ailments in my body. So I can say, I have somebody here who had a heart attack, or I have somebody
Or
here who
whatever.
was on chemo, because I can feel the chemicals in my body.
Oh my.
Yeah. I was
So-
just kind of curious,
Right.
the process of how you sense
Right.
the information that you get.
Initially, it was feeling, and then when I was talking to the medium that very first time, she said that the guides say that you can hear them, and I said, I can't hear them. What are you talking about? And then all of a sudden in my head, I heard, yes, you can hear us.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we're here. Hello.
Did you jump out of your
Oh,
chair?
I did. I said, okay, I guess I can hear them. That
Wow.
was very much a surprise.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever heard prior to that.
See, I didn't know you could be trained for that. I think that's
Absolutely,
fascinating.
'cause
I had no
everybody-
idea.
Everybody is psychic, and then the big difference between psychics and mediums: psychics read energy, and they get information based upon that energy. So it's
Ah.
like I'm reading you, and or I'm receiving
Ooh, what are you
from
finding?
information.
What are you finding on Pepti? No, just
was gonna say,
no,
we're
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
Don't
do
be
this
making me
not
walk
on
the
air.
arm.
we won't go there.
Walk the
We'll do
plank.
that off air.
But no, it's just kind of interesting. It's like, how do you know? How do you feel? How do you interpret what you're, the information
I
you're
guess
getting?
that's where the
and-
training comes in.
That's
Yeah.
where the training comes in, because initially you feel things, and I
But you
had
don't
no
know.
idea. I had no idea what I was feeling. I had no idea who was coming to me, and so I trained in that, and now I train others. I train others to be psychics
Wow.
and mediums and connect to the other side, connect to their guides, connect to their loved ones, and it's a fascinating process to watch other people. The light bulbs go off. I didn't know it was that easy, because
How about
really,
that?
when you get the formula and you
It's
do
like-
it's a lot simpler than what you think it is, and we all have this ability.
Really?
Absolutely.
So do people hold back because they're kind of scared? Because I'd be like,
Well,
I'm
of
not
course.
sure I want. I'm not sure I want these
Who
voices
am I
in my
going to
head.
talk to? Who's
Yeah.
going to come in?
Yeah.
Wow. So it's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, 6:30.
Okay. And,
But reservations are probably a good thing
We're
to
probably needed.
do because
Yeah.
of the seating, definitely. And that's on my website. It's right on the front page of my website.
Bridgetohealing.com.
Bridgetohealing.com.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Okay.
Sarina Baptista, thank you for
Thank
coming.
you so much. Thank you
Sarina?
very much.
Oh, absolutely. Been a pleasure to have you here.